Hey, what's up? This is Hunter Nelson with Tortoise and Hare Software, and today we're going to be talking about a Google Ads SaaS advertising case study. So, I'll pop over to the screen capture here for a second, and this is a blog commentary video, and if you check the description below, I'll put a link to the blog post so you can read the full case study at your leisure. But I'll just kind of talk through it a little bit in this particular video. So this was a SaaS company that helps e-commerce companies connect with a specific type of supplier, and they have integrations with those suppliers that helps kind of pull in product data and connect to the major storefronts such as Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, etc., and do the kind of inventory management, push products to the storefronts, and kind of do the e-commerce operations with that specific type of supplier. And this is a company that had a pretty healthy ad budget, and they wanted to get some more out of it. And I took a look at their account and kind of pointed out that they were most likely, breaking even or maybe even losing money. And pointed out some ways that I might be able to help them, and talked with them about what I would do if they were to hire me, and they decided to move forward. And that's kind of a little bit about the background there. They reached out at kind of the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Definitely a good time to take a look at how you can get more out of your existing efforts. We talked about kind of some of the numbers behind the PPC and came up with some goals, and decided to start working to realize them. And one of the first steps that we did after kind of coming up with those goals was make sure that we had the reporting infrastructure in place to get a accurate picture of what was going on in the ad account. One thing I had seen is that they were using a lot of Google Analytics imported goals within their ad account, and one of the first things I did is went and changed those and install kind of proper conversion tracking for several of the goals using native Google Ads conversions. Those native Google Ads conversions are going to get you a much better picture of your actual conversion volumes because of the kind of technical details between a Google Analytics imported conversion and a native Google Ads implemented conversion. That said, it takes a little bit more kind of code work to install at the appropriate places on your website. When you have a SaaS company, a lot of times there's like a custom billing integration or something like that goes on with your software, so it takes a little bit more effort, but it is worth it. And one of the biggest reasons for that is that the Google Analytics conversions will only track people that are a last non-direct. And basically what that means is like they have to convert in the same session more or less within right after they clicked the ad to be attributed to a conversion from that advertisement. If you do a native Google Ads conversion tracking, you can kind of get some more visibility into how your advertising is influencing your customer acquisition. So for instance, if somebody originally is hit by paid search, and then you send them a follow-up email after they've opted up into your email list, and they click on an email, that's not going to be counted if you do the Google Analytics method of conversion tracking. But you really do want to attribute that customer because they originally came in via paid search, and just because they did their actual conversion via a follow-up email does not mean that that paid search was not valuable. Same sort of thing. A common pattern of people converting is that they are hit with a paid ad originally, they close the session and think about it, maybe do some comparison shopping, and then they come back to your website, usually via a branded search, and convert. So that's most likely what happened in this session right here. Is hit by a paid search ad originally, did some research, left the website, came back via a branded search, and converted. But we don't get any visibility into that when using the Google Analytics conversions. But the Google Ads native conversion tracking will give you that visibility. So you get a lot more insight into the value of your paid advertising program when you use that native Google Ads tracking. So that's one of the first things that we went and implemented there, and helped give them more visibility into their conversions. Another thing that we did is update their attribution model. They were using a last click attribution model, and we ended up changing that to a position-based attribution model. And there's several different kind of settings that you can choose for, but in general, if you have a multi-touch conversion path, you want to choose something other than last click, because a lot of times last click is like a branded search or something that's less valuable and doesn't give you the full picture. Position based is one of my kind of favorites for like a SaaS company, because it'll give 40% of the credit to the first click, 40% to the last click, and then evenly distribute the remaining 20% amongst any clicks within the middle of the kind of conversion journey. But there's several different options. Last click, first click, linear distributes them evenly across all the clicks in the path, time decay, position-based, and data-driven. Data-driven is really powerful and something in general that you want to use, but you usually have to have a pretty high level of spend to be even eligible for that, and this account ended up being data-driven eligible later on in the journey, because that actually got rolled out in the middle of us working together. But so this one's kind of new, data-driven, and if you don't see that in your account, you may not have be spending enough to even be eligible for it. Okay, so that kind of better gave us visibility into some of the reporting for that account, and helped and kind of served as like a conversion tracking foundation to be more confident in like what we're investing in with ad spend, and giving us this extra visibility in assigning these or choosing the correct attribution model is a way to help the machine learning algorithms that back some of the automated bidding strategies in platforms like Google Ads and Facebook Ads and some of the other popular digital advertising platforms. It just helps those machine learning algorithms get better data, and that's one of the best things you can do to make your ad account run in a healthy state, is give it the right data, help them get a better understanding of what really is valuable to your company, so that they can bid appropriately on that with those algorithms. Okay, so that was kind of the part one of that journey. The next part was updating keywords and search terms. They had auto applied suggestions on their account running, so there was all sorts of craziness going on in the account that kind of Google had pushed. So Google has a setting where when you start your ad account, they have auto applied suggestions that will automatically apply to your account after 14 days. But in general, the auto applied suggestions just help you spend the maximum amount of money and cast the widest reach. So not always the best setting if you actually want to kind of be a little bit more tactical with your account. And if you're hiring an account manager, that's definitely something that they should be switching off and taking over more manual management of the targeting and settings. So we disabled those auto-applied ad suggestions and went through and looked at a lot of the historical data. And even though the reporting quality wasn't great, it was pretty clear that a lot of the inquisitive search terms were not converting very well, not making a big impact. So that's things like how to, what does, how do, more like question-based search terms. So we went through and put a negative list that kind of blocked out a lot of those keywords. And in general, those are a lot better to target via SEO. If you can, rank for those sort of terms with a blog article, it's better to target that sort of stuff with at the top of funnel with blog content rather than paid advertising. Paid advertising on Google Ads is something that you really want to be targeting bottom of funnel, maybe middle funnel if you have a higher budget, terms that like are going for a conversion. So did a bunch of work to get rid of some of those inquisitive search terms, and then kind of the next thing we noticed, there was just a lot of exact match keywords, and that's for a higher spend account, that's not necessarily the best fit, is a bunch of exact match keywords. And then they also had some pretty broad ad groups. So basically what we did is restructured the account to be a little bit more kind of scalable and cast wider nets for the ad groups that were kind of more segmented and focused. We really did this by kind of implementing more of a broad match modified keyword strategy, and unfortunately that setting has been discontinued by Google, but it was so powerful for the time that it lasted, and that really allowed you to put kind of like do broad advertising, but ensure that certain words were within the phrase. And this was overall allowed us to cast a wide net, but have a high level of confidence that the terms that we were matching for were of a high quality. And you combine that with kind of the negative list we built to get rid of like the inquisitive search terms around how to's, how do, what does, etc. type of questions. That really just like kind of kicked their account into overdrive. And yeah, that was had a big impact, was just restructuring the ad account in general and making sure the keyword targeting was solid. Then kind of the next step there was to update the ad copy. Again, the auto-applied ad suggestions will create all sorts of crazy stuff in your account that's not really the best fit, and a lot of times that might be single line type of ads. Within Google Ads, you really want to like maximize the real estate and use your ads to take over the search engine results page. Push your competitors as far down as you can, and take up as much real estate as possible to maximize the chance of getting a click. That not only drives more traffic via your advertising, but increases your quality scores in the account, which means you pay less for those clicks. So it can have a big positive effect. So we went through, and this was a humongous project that required writing thousands and thousands of ads, but we went through and made sure that all the ads were using all the available real estate within the ad copy, and then made sure that the casing within all the ads was changed to title case. That can have a mixed results, but on average that adds a couple percentage points to your chances of generating conversion just by having everything be in title case. And then we also kind of made some more strategic copy refreshes to match the current offerings and be more sensitive to the kind of current climate, and convey the value of the product a little bit more. So, on top of kind of the, technical, tactical sort of ad copy updates, we also made some more marketing oriented copy updates to convey the value proposition a little bit better. And this, had a net effect of increasing the impression volume, and click-through rates and conversion rates, and again was also a solid part in increasing the quality of this ad account. Okay, yeah, so here's just like kind of an example we show, whereas like we have like a small ad with just a single line versus like this one that takes up more real estate on the search engine results page. So kind of a good practice there. And then another kind of view of like how a fully filled out ad can be very like prominent on both a desktop and a mobile device. Okay, so that's kind of like the quick and dirty of that case study. Overall they had a 5 to 7x return on ad spend. over a 1 year period, and they doubled their subscriber count year over year, and actually did so well with the account that they decided to autopilot it and focus on a more upmarket business because they were happy with the results, and that other business was going to be more of a sales driven motion. So that was the end of this particular engagement, but the client was very happy. We did a lot of great things. The ad account was in a very healthy state, and they had significant growth over the pandemic. It was a really fun account to work on. I learned a ton, and yeah, it was a great experience. So if you need any help with running Google Ads in your account, your SaaS company, or other B2B tech type organization, definitely feel free to reach out. We've been able to generate a lot of positive results with Google Ads, and advise people on things like landing pages, types of offers they're presenting via Google Ads, and just in general really expand the reach of a company and get the most out of their paid advertising budgets. So yeah, definitely reach out if you're needing help with any of that. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Again, I'll link the case study in the description, and I'll link to our Google Ads Management Service description page. But hope you enjoyed, and again, I'm Hunter Nelson with Tortoise & Hare Software, and thanks for watching.